what is up? I'm FUTC and I've spent a lot of money on photography and videography gear over the past years. My girlfriend keeps saying, how are we ever gonna afford nice things if you keep buying cameras? And I do not have an answer for her. But wherever possible, I've also tried to cut some deals. And recently, I realized that I've bought a bunch of cheap gear over the past 6 years or so that I still use today. So in this video, I want to show you a ton of cheap gear that is actually good and worth buying. And all of the items in this video are somewhere between 10 and 50 bucks. So if you still need a gift for your photographically inclined friends, you've come to the right place. Or let's be honest, if you're like me, you're just gonna buy this stuff for yourself. The first item is the light I've actually been using for all of my videos the past year. This thing is super cheap. I think I paid like 38 euro from Amazon. To be honest, it's a bit crappy, it's plastic, and the color accuracy probably isn't that great. I'm already doing a great job of selling you on why this deserves to be on the list. But if you're just starting out, this is a million times better than filming next to a window. Filming with natural light is super annoying because then you have clouds going by, your exposure changes all the time, and it's just so much nicer not to be bound by the weather gods and being able to film in the middle of the night, as I like to do. It's also great for photography. It gives you super soft, constant light for product shots or portraits. You can change between 5500 Kelvin and 2700 Kelvin, as well as change the brightness. It doesn't get super bright with the diffusion in front, but it's enough for indoor scenes. It comes with a stand and with the diffusion box in front, and because it's made of plastic, it's actually very light and portable. I've even used it as a work light 2 weeks ago when we were painting a friend's apartment. Yeah, it might not be crazy high quality or color accurate, but seriously, if you don't have a softbox like this, it makes all the difference and exemplifies probably some of the best 38 bucks I've ever spent. Just short of this limited edition glow-in-the-dark rubber chicken-shaped nightlight with a built-in thermometer. I would gladly pay $1 million for that. The second item is these in-ear monitors. These are the KZ-ZS10 Pro, and these are quite popular because you can get them for just under 50 bucks, and I've heard a bunch of people say that they can keep up with much more expensive headphones. These are great for accurate audio when you're editing. I use these to edit pretty much all of my videos, and the amount of things I can hear in my audio using these compared to when I use my speakers is actually shocking. And because they are in-ear, they give you a pretty good seal to shield you from outside noise, and you can easily take them with you if you want to edit on the go or while traveling. I still need to fix my big studio headphones after they've had a bit of an accident, so I'm really glad I have these in-ear monitors. Next up, we have something I've already shown in a different video, but it's so good that I'm just gonna mention it again. This is a DIY Pro mist filter. To make one, just buy the cheapest UV filter you can find. This one was like 7 bucks. Take a can of hairspray and give it a short spray. That's it. This gives you soft, bloomy highlights that help you create a really nice film-like vibe without the financial burden of buying a real Pro mist filter. Speaking of the film look, I've made a Lightroom preset pack that allows you to get the dreamy pastel film look on all of your digital images, no matter which camera you're using, even with your phone. And you can get it for just 5 bucks at the link down in the description, and you'll be supporting me so I can continue to make these videos. Let's get back to filters. It's great to have a bunch of them, but you know what's not great? When you realize that all of your lenses have different thread sizes in front. So instead of buying new filters for every lens, just get a stack of adapter rings. This might be obvious for some people, but it took me longer than I want to admit to realize that these adapter rings exist. And if you don't want to use a huge stack of these rings to attach your big filter to a small lens, there also are adapter rings that go directly from say 49mm to 82mm. This is also important for wide-angle lenses where stacking too many of the rings could lead to vignetting. So the next time you buy a new lens filter, just buy it in a size that is big enough to cover all of your lenses, and then use adapter rings. I think this is what Beyonce meant when she said if you liked it, should have put a ring on it. Remember these Gorilla Pods from the 2016 Casey Neistat vlog era? Well, I too fell for this product. I mean, it's fine, but they are a bit annoying to adjust, and these ball joints aren't the most durable. I like this bendy tripod a lot more. It's easier to adjust, holds its form better, and the rubbery surface makes it have more friction, which is great for those extra janky angles. You know which ones. Don't pretend like you haven't risked it all for an aggressively mediocre shot. It also has a ball head up top so you can adjust the camera better when it's mounted on the tripod, and the best thing is it's super versatile, portable, and you can get these for like 20 bucks. Speaking of things that are adjustable, my moral compass when I'm offered money, and that brings me to today's sponsor. No, I'm just kidding. This video isn't sponsored, but I think that was one of my best segues and should probably be enough to make you subscribe. Next up is the Small Rig Multi-Tool. If you're rigging up cameras all the time, this thing is super handy and very easy to take with you because it's really compact. It even fits in this small pocket on jeans where I've been wondering my whole life why it's there. It has all the bits I need when building up a camera rig, and on the side there are screw holes in different sizes so you can store some screws temporarily to make sure you're not gonna lose them. But my favorite feature has to be this wide flat bit that helps you with these stupid tripod plate screws so you don't have to go digging for a coin every time. I mean, who still carries cash on them? It's much more fun to just blindly pay by holding your phone to the reader every time and have absolutely no indication for how much you're spending until you realize that your bank account is empty halfway through the month. If you want to shine some light on the dark reality that is your finances, this small RGB light is really cool. Man, another great segue with just a touch of existential crisis. This 5-inch light is so handy and I use it in every one of my videos. I always have it placed in the background when I'm talking to the camera to add another splash of color behind me, and I always use it to add some color accents to my B-roll. For example, here I was filming B-roll of my red camera and I set the light to red. Yeah, I know I got real creative there. It has an internal battery and USB-C charging, which is super nice. If you mount it on the bendy tripod I showed earlier, you can stick it pretty much anywhere and it'll be running for a few hours.
Got it. Easy.
It also has a bunch of different modes. You can have it cycle colors, set the color temperature manually, or even have special effects like lightning. The next item on the list is something I don't see people talk about that often, but that might just be because my Instagram algorithm is nothing but boats and cars, and I don't even know why. I get seasick and I don't have a driver's license. Anyways, macro rings. These are awesome and I use them all the time. You can use 1 or 2 of these between your lens and the camera to decrease your minimum focus distance, meaning that you can get a lot closer to your subject. I've used these a ton over the past years for scanning film with my digital camera and when I want to get those super close B-roll detail shots. The downside of using these is that when you attach them you can no longer focus to infinity, and the optical quality of course isn't quite as good as using a proper macro lens. But still, you can get them for like 25 to 35 bucks and they open up a lot of possibilities for close-up shots, so they're worth every penny. Except this one's mine. This next item might be my favorite on this entire list and has been hiding in plain sight this whole video. It's the microphone I've been talking into this entire time. While you might think it looks like the Shure SM7B, a microphone that costs 400 euro, this microphone is actually only 20 bucks. This is the Behringer XM8500, which I've been using on this channel for quite a while. But I always used it with this big pop filter in front, which I really didn't like the look of. One day I came across this video from DSLR Video Shooter, love this channel by the way, where he shows a 3D printed enclosure he designed. I had a friend of mine print that enclosure for me, and that makes this $20 microphone look like the Shure SM7B, and allows you to use these same cone-shaped pop filters. Of course, it doesn't really change the sound of the microphone, but it makes it look a lot cleaner, and I don't have to have that stupid big pop filter in my face. With all of the parts, it will likely cost you around 35 bucks, but for that price you get a mic that looks very clean and sounds surprisingly similar to the Shure SM7B, despite being very affordable. One of the best features is that just like the Shure SM7B, it's a dynamic microphone. That means it's really great for isolating your voice and blocking out all of the sounds that aren't directly in front of the microphone. So if you're recording in a space that isn't sound treated and is quite echoey, a microphone like this is what you need. One thing you need to keep in mind though is that you will need an XLR interface to use it. The one I have here is pretty affordable, but I got it for free because I yoinked it from a friend who didn't need it anymore. Now that you've saved all this money by buying cheap gear and stealing from your friends, why don't you check out my last video and save some more money? I bought the cheapest red cinema camera on the internet a couple of months ago. It cost like 35 grand new, but nowadays you can actually get world-class cinema cameras for surprisingly affordable prices. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye! Okay, now click it, click the video, do it. Do it now.